Welcome to an episode of Founder in the Chair. I'm your host, Vina, and today I'm super excited to welcome my youngest entrepreneur. So today I'm joined by an incredibly talented lady who wears many creative hats. All her business do actually bounce off each other, and we've just counted. She has 6 businesses, which she's just realised, because everything just flows from one business to the next. She's a professional hair and makeup artist, a skilled baker, crafting stunning cakes for all occasions, and the owner of a photography studio. She will tell you what the rest of her businesses are soon, and she creates captivating content. I mean, she will tell you her social details soon, and they will be linked below. You have got to watch her. On top of that, she helps other brands elevate their presence with her content creation experience. So welcoming our youngest ever entrepreneur in the Founder's Chair today, our lovely Aranpreet.
Hi everyone. Hey Vina, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So excited to finally have you on on your podcast. It's incredible watching your journey as a podcaster and now finally being sat in the Founder's Chair. I feel honoured.
Good. So, my youngest founder, you are 22?
Yeah.
And you have 6 businesses?
As we just counted, yes.
Just list them off for me.
So I am the owner of a hair and makeup business, a cake business, a photography studio. I've just started my own lash line. So Vina just told me that's another business. I handle social media, so social media management. And the 6th one, I guess, renting out and hiring out my photography studio.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the 6 businesses I have.
And how do you do it all?
Honestly, my mom is my rock. Like, without her, I don't even know how I'd manage. Because if I'm not there is only one of me. And I feel like my mom's helped me so much pick up stuff that I can't do while I'm not present. So, yeah, my mom is just the biggest help ever. And consistency with staying on top of stuff, managing time, and I guess just being able to have, like, a calendar for everything, every little detail with time slots and it's crazy.
So that your calendar is your little key as well.
If you don't know about How About, get on How About, because that calendar is the best.
What's it called?
How About.
Okay.
You can colour coordinate stuff, time stuff, and I feel like for Gen Z, it's the best.
Okay. I mean, I haven't even heard of it, so just goes to show you're a Gen Z. Okay, so the calendar and mum.
Yeah.
So which business was your first one?
My first business was a hair and makeup business.
Okay.
And the journey from where I started to where I am now has been incredible. But patience was a key virtue, like, with this business, because I started it just before lockdown. So getting no business straight into starting one was a real, like, kick in the face until I then launched my second business, which is my cake business.
So lockdown happened, and obviously no hair and makeup bookings in that time. So what did you do in that time then?
So content creation, and I think that was the best way about it. I think loads of people were consistently on their phones most of the time. And they were watching my videos. I even started a YouTube channel, which nobody even, if you know me from the get-go in the beginning, like, I was on YouTube quite a lot. I used to have a singing channel. I used to bounce off content creation, singing, and then TikTok and Musical.ly, if you know about that too. So yeah, I was consistent with my social platforms, and then I got into cakes because I thought, this is crazy. Like, I'm not getting any business from my makeup. Let me try something new. So I ventured out into cakes, and it really kicked off.
In lockdown?
Yeah.
So you were doing doorstep deliveries with the cakes?
So actually, well, most people did come and collect. And I guess I started towards the end of lockdown. So I'd practice during lockdown and have just friends, family who we'd be able to see here and there, just try them. But towards the end of lockdown, I had perfected my skills to be able to start actually delivering the service of cakes.
That's amazing. So do you book a bride for her hair and makeup, and then you do her cake as well?
Yeah, so I have this new package out because I thought I'm doing 2 businesses, and I finally ventured out into doing wedding cakes consistently rather than just having the odd 1 or 2 in a year. So every other week I'm doing wedding cakes, and it's phenomenal. And I'm just like, why don't I just do a package with my brides and cakes? So now I do a bridal hair and makeup and bridal cake package for my brides. So it's just easier for them to go to one vendor than so many other vendors.
So the average 22-year-old these days would not be working as hard as you do. Yeah.
They love their naps. I love my naps, but I also got to think about time is money. And you've got to think about, you know, if I don't do it now, someone else will do it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So if there's a Gen Z listening,
Yeah.
let's not just put your age into it. What advice would you give them? Because, they're not as driven as you. What drives Aranpreet, and what advice would you give them to be like you?
Staying consistent. Once you stop, you will need a break at times, but consistency is key. And I feel like I've noticed the minute I fall off, I have to jump back on and I have to go 10 times harder. So staying consistent, having content especially prepared is such a key thing. Another thing I would say is as much free help as you can get, and that's just the harsh truth, try and get it, whether it's friends, whether it's family, before stepping into actually employing people, use as much free help as possible because it's there. You just need to ask.
Yeah. I think sometimes we get scared to ask people.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
hence why my mom's been burdened with everything. My mom was like, you need to start paying me. I'm like, all right, okay, cool. Now she's getting paid for a lot more things. But
and are you looking to expand and employ people?
Hopefully in the future I am looking to. But I think right now I just want to have a steady business, so I know that, you know what, I don't need to worry about now bringing in clients. I've got the clients. I just need to expand my business so that I can hand out roles, e.g. like, doing smaller party bookings while I go off and do bigger bridal bookings, or delivering cakes while I'm at a makeup booking. So it's just kind of little roles being handed out to be able to finally expand the business.
Okay. So when you're busy working, when do you find time for yourself? What do you do to switch off? I saw you running the other day.
Oh my God. That was like when I first started running, I was so young, like I was very into sports. And then just getting back into it was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I kid you not, guys, I'm actually the most laziest person in the world.
No
like, everyone
way.
Thinks
I do not believe that.
Everyone thinks I'm super consistent and super on it, but I'm actually the most laziest person. Like the amount of times my mom in a day tells me like, get up off your phone and do this, do that, do this, do that. I just feel like I do it in my own time, which is so bad, which is like mostly in the evenings and mostly at night when everyone's sleeping and everyone's out of my way. So if I'm baking, it'll be everyone's asleep. That's it. I'm in the kitchen because there's no one coming in and out. I don't have to worry about distraction. But yeah, I think, do you know what? I'm so glad that I left my 9 to 5 to be able to, be consistent with my future and my jobs. It's just the best thing I've ever done.
So what did you do when you were working before?
So I used to be a social media marketing executive.
Okay.
And I did that as an apprenticeship because I knew that I wanted to earn money so I could be able to buy myself things, invest in my business, rather than going to uni, thinking about loans, thinking about spending money 24/7 on food, living out. I just couldn't even burden my parents with that as well. And I knew that I had this drive to not be able to work for someone else. I just wanted to get income in as fast as I could to be able to do a lot more things that people my age, if they had the opportunity to do, would do.
So people always have opportunities.
Yeah, I agree.
And obviously you push boundaries. And as much as you said a minute ago, you're consistent, but sometimes you're not. You are. Like, literally, I open my social media, you're there.
Good.
All your pages.
I'm glad.
Like, you don't post just on one page.
I have to post on all. It's so... And I think the best thing that actually came out was collaborations on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Because if I can't post, someone else can post for me, whether it's them hiring at the studio, them collabing with me, whether it's someone else, has taken pictures and videos of the wedding cake or cakes, they can collab with my feed. And it's actually taken off a lot more time of not just myself, but I'm sure you understand as a business owner yourself, the collaboration aspect has helped so much more in getting exposure, getting more, views and, reaching out to more people.
Yeah, because you then show up on their page.
Yeah.
I do find some people get a bit funny about, oh, she's collaborated with me, I don't want to accept it.
Do you know what? I think it's good to kind of have that communication barrier with that person before.
Yeah.
Or you can just give them the option. If they want to collaborate, they can, whether they want to collaborate now and accept it or in a few weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's got their own feed and they want to have an aesthetic on their page. So sometimes they don't accept, but it's completely up to them. And one thing I love is that you can remove yourself as a collaborator.
Yes.
If you want the exposure, accept, and then after a couple of days, remove that.
Yeah.
That is like the best tip that I ever done with models as well, if they don't want it on their feed.
So your social media's grown really quickly. Any tips for somebody who's just stuck at that number and they just can't move forward? What would you say to them?
I would say if you don't have the time to do it yourself, hire someone to do it. One thing I really did was, there was a time where I was stuck at a certain point and I was like, I'm not really getting anywhere. What are people doing? Find out the latest trends, find out what's new, find out the latest music that's trending, and it's little things. And you have to trial and error in your business. I've done so many different, methods of marketing on my social media. Now I found what really works. And I hate to say I hated doing hair. And now I love doing hair tutorials because hair tutorials are popping on my page. Like, they're doing phenomenal. But when I post a makeup video or myself, it just doesn't go as well. So now I've found my niche. I'm just expanding that, and as well as my cakes. I always thought I needed a pretty kitchen, but we've just got like a standing like walk-through kitchen. People are like, how do you make cakes here? And I'm like, I found a corner, I've put some pretty flowers behind it, and I've made little videos with a tripod.
Yeah.
And it's honestly just gone through the roof.
Wow. So what apps do you use to do your editing?
Splice, CapCut. I would hit myself in the head right now. I wish I knew about CapCut sooner. I wish I had, learned how to use it sooner, because I feel like I would actually be a bit more further than I am right now. iMovie was a game changer. Since I left school, I always used to edit on there. Now you can obviously edit on Instagram as well, TikTok as well. There's so many different editing platforms, but it all depends what works for you. So CapCut works for me, so the quality even stays there as well. So CapCut is probably the best.
And what's your best platform? Instagram, TikTok?
Oh, 100% Instagram.
Instagram.
But someone told me tomorrow, if I lost my Instagram, what would I do? Because I have no social media platform. Like, I have no backup. So now I'm looking to get a website, and now I'm looking to expand the business like that. So yeah.
So as you're a Gen Z, so it's Instagram and TikTok, do you do anything with things like LinkedIn or email marketing?
So I have tried it, and I think LinkedIn is actually a big platform that a lot of people, especially in my age category, would really miss out on, because it's little things like just having a page and just putting quotes or putting like advice and tips just to grow that business. But again, there's only one person. If there's a lot more people in the business, then someone can be handed out, the task can be handed out to other people. And then email marketing, I think I've done twice. I think last year at the end of December, I was like, let me try this, and it actually did work. And I was like sending a paragraph with all the businesses that I've worked with, all the businesses that I've got personally, and it was just like little discount codes, like if you recommend, or if you use this person, like let's say nail tech, you'll get 10% off. If you use this photographer that I've worked with, you'll get 10% off. And it's just expanding my business and expanding their business. So email marketing does work. It really does work. But it's just about having the time to sit there and email every single person.
That's really good that you're promoting other people's businesses as well. So, quote Aranpreet, for example, you get 10% off or whatever. And that's really good of you to do that. How do you talk to these companies and get your discount codes?
So initially, I feel like the best thing that I've ever got is my businesses. And one thing in this industry is, A, it's competitive, or there could be someone that you could work alongside really, really well, that you're happy to exchange things. So say if someone wanted to use my studio for free, then I'd be like, okay, then you do a shoot with me for free. Like it's kind of like a trade in the business. And a lot of business owners, I'm sure they do this. And I feel like through there, I have expanded my network, as well as showing them I can do this sort of content. If you do this, I'll do this for you. And it kind of works out because they've seen the work, and I've seen the progress, and I've seen the actual attention it gets. So it's like I do it with quite a few people, but it just depends who wants to. And sometimes people say, no, I don't want to, trade my business. I just want to, get paid for what I do, which is completely fine. But I think building relationships with people is such a strong thing that you need to have.
That's really good. So you're networking, building
100%,
it all up, trade
100%.
swaps. So how does running your own photography studio help you elevate your content creation for both yourself and your clients?
It's elevated it so much, especially having more high quality content, and just knowing that I don't have to go rent out a space to go film or shoot, and I have it at the comfort of my home. So I can wake up at if the shoot starts at 7 a.m, best believe I'll get up out of my bed at 6:55, brush my teeth, put my clothes on, and I'll be at the back ready to shoot.
Yeah.
But it's honestly amazing because not only can I, use it for myself, I can rent it out to other people. And I think that's so strong because in West London, the business community is so big. It is huge compared to like East London, West Midlands. I think West London is such a hot spot. And I think especially where I live as well, I've got everyone, and just like, if I need something, someone's just down the road.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think it's really elevated the business itself a lot more because I can use it for my own content creation. Yeah. And not only is it a photography studio, there's a bathroom, shower, a sofa, bed. So I've had like models stay the night over in the studio. God, wow. And we've done shoots at like 3 a.m, 4 a.m in the morning, ready for a sunrise shoot. So it has been manic, but we've managed to do that.
And what gave you that idea? Just because you didn't want to go and hire space? Or?
Do you know what? I think my parents were very fond of turning that studio into a rental place.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm going to turn it into something that's going to help me and also grow the business.
Yeah.
And I remember first putting the backdrop up, my brother and my mum were laughing at me. They were like, what are you doing? You've damaged the ceiling. I said, no, trust me. And this is last year. I was like, trust me, this is going to work. And it did take a little bit of time for people to even get in there, but it was just offering the service for free at the beginning just to get people in there. And now it's like every week there's someone coming in to shoot, and it's just like, wow, like I'm so glad I marketed it the way I did and collabed with people, and now they're bringing in other people to work with while I'm not available or they want to use it for themselves.
So do you have all the cameras there, or they bring their own? So
in terms of cameras, people mainly use their phones. If someone wants to bring their own photographer, they can. I don't have like a major setup in terms of a professional. I would say there are pros and cons to the studio because it's not actually, because I do my content creation around there, I can change it up for someone to do a shoot for like clothing, outfit wear, streetwear. I feel like it's just based off what the person wants to do in the studio. Most of the equipment is more basic equipment, but again, people can mix and match and use natural lighting as well as just the white backdrop. So yeah.
So they can bring their own.
Yeah,
cameras.
They can basically.
Isn't it great that you can just make content on your phone?
I love it. And it's
great quality as well.
I know. That was something I wanted to bring up because I feel like everyone wants a Canon GX7 right now. That is like the camera that is trending and it's sold out everywhere. But if you've got one of the latest iPhones, it does just the same justice. So.
Yeah. What phone do you use?
I use the 15 Pro Max, but I realised I've got two phones.
Okay.
One, I feel like I've got my whole life on there, and it's a 12 Pro Max, but it's like I still haven't changed to the new phone because I feel like the old phone is still doing me good enough justice, but the new phone is more just for content. And if I need to like airdrop something or if I need storage, it just helps having two phones.
Wow. Two phones as well. So Aranpreet, can you share a memorable experience or challenge that you faced in either your makeup artistry, baking, or any one of your other businesses?
So one challenge that I really faced was I had a destination booking last year and I genuinely completely forgot that I had a wedding cake to set up, and my mum had never done a setup solo. She'd always done it with me. And so I remember the week before, I was like, Mom, you need to set this cake up and I won't be here. And she looked at me, she's like, Aranpreet, I'm not doing it. And I was like, Mom, please. And I begged her so much. I was like, Mom, please, you've got to do this. And she's just looking at my brother. She's like, you have to come with me to do this, because she couldn't do it by herself. And I remember I was on FaceTime after the destination booking was over. It was like evening and I was on the phone with her. I was like, this is how you're going to set it up. And she was panicking so much because it was hot. It was August and the cake's melting, and every single thing came at her. Like the dolly party was running late, everything. They wanted to cut the cake afterwards. So she's sitting in the car waiting to set up. And it was just manic. And on my end, I was just like, Mom, just tell me how much you want to be paid and just set it up. And she's looking at me. She's like, I want the total cost of this cake. And I'm laughing with her. And she set it up. But that was like one thing I realized was I need employees, because this was a hiccup that I never want to go through again. So yeah, I think that was something that was really like crap. Like I needed to sort something out for that. But I do have another one, which was, one thing in the business is it's taken me so long to, obviously I always say like it's so hard to get a content creator, or like, they charge a certain amount and you're like, you can't really afford it when it comes to business. And touch wood, I felt like I was, in a comfortable position where I was able to fly out a content creator to this recent destination booking that I went to in Marrakesh. And touch wood, it was the best thing I have ever done. And I really, really, really recommend it. If you are someone who wants to get into more like destination bookings, then definitely have a content creator, even if it's just for one, to get content endlessly.
Yeah. I saw that actually. Yeah, he was following you around at the airport.
It was amazing.
You.
It was so fun having someone there because these bookings can get really isolating because you're by yourself and there's only so many people you can, socialize with. And obviously, if you don't even want to like be part of the functions or just be on the side, just do your own thing. It's just like you're by yourself. Yeah. Some people enjoy company. I feel like I can't do anything by myself. Like I love having someone there. Yeah. So it was nice to take someone along that I had worked with previously, was comfortable working with. And, we built and grew from that. So, yeah.
I love that. You flew a content creator out with you.
I know, it was incredible. I couldn't even believe it.
And I know you didn't get just content for the wedding then. You did lots of other things as well because you were there.
Yeah. So we filmed a podcast. We filmed behind the scenes. He was filming my makeup tutorials, hair tutorials for the bride. So I didn't have to worry about, is the camera in position? Is it recording? Is it this? I was solely focused on the bride. And that was honestly... it took off so much pressure. So, yeah.
And was he obviously doing it with a camera rather than a phone?
So he was actually doing it with the Digicam.
Okay.
What's it called? What's that mini?
DJI?
DJI, not Digi, guys. Ignore I said that. The DJI.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, I need to buy that now, but it's sold out everywhere. So I'm just waiting until
it
comes back in stock.
I was like, okay,
best
it's expensive,
investment, honestly.
Honestly. Is it sold out? Yeah. Damn.
I'm on the wait list.
Are you?
Argos, curries, it's everywhere. Like I've literally...
Which model?
The most recent one, probably 3 or 2. I think he used a 2 or 3, but I want to get the 3. So, yeah.
Wow, it is a game changer. I've seen what it can do.
Incredible.
And it just attaches to your phone as well, so you
Yeah.
can see everything on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it's on my wish list as well.
Oh, my God.
What advice would you give to...
Neha.
What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to juggle multiple creative businesses successfully? Because obviously that's what you do.
Firstly, just do it. Just do it. Just get into it. Because I feel like a lot of people are scared to just crack the ice of getting into a business because they think it's hard and challenging. These are things you're going to face over time. But getting into it, you don't realize how much support you truly have around you, especially family and friends, until you get into a business. I would definitely say use as many free resources as you can. Social media, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I'm self-taught, so I had to learn everything by myself, and I had to learn a lot from my mistakes. And that was one thing I wish I had done a course, or I wish I learned certain things beforehand. But learning from my mistakes honestly made me go 10 times harder and build my business so much more. It took me more of a longer time, but I would say if you have the opportunity to do courses and learn or shadow people, definitely do that, because that really helps.
When you say learning, do you mean like to make content?
So watching videos in terms of like, say if you want to learn how to decorate a cake, you can go on TikTok and you can find that within seconds. A cake recipe on TikTok in seconds. Everything is handed to you on a plate. If you look at social media, it's there. You just need to go out of your way and find these things. And there's certain things that you don't even know that exist until you actually start looking for them. And you're like, wow, like I didn't need to pay $1,000 for a course when everything was there in front of me.
It's amazing what you can learn on tutorials. I'm that person I won't skip the tutorial.
I watch the whole
I
thing.
watch it as well. And sometimes people are like, you're in your 50s, why do you even bother? And I'm like,
oh my God.
But I need to know how Aranpreet just made that. Like, I could just ask her, but I'm going to try and work it out myself. And like you, I love CapCut.
You're very independent. I love that.
Thank you. So if I was to ask you, who inspires you in the industry that you're in at the moment, who would it be?
So I think I mentioned this the other day. One person that really inspires me, and it was after I went to Suki MUA's masterclass with Bambi, and it was just incredible. I found out who Sandy Basra was, and she was just, when I followed her on her social platforms, it was incredible to see her her Pro Academy, you know, her lash business and her business itself and how she's thriving. What is it with her looking incredible in every single picture and video that she posts? Like, there's not a day where she's like, I'm not even going to show up for myself. She shows up for herself every single day. And I love that about her. And she's so confident and she has the most, you know, soft spoken voice, and the way she carries herself, it is incredible. And I feel like one day I will have my own academy in the future. And you know what? Thanks to Sandy Braswell, I feel like that's the reason why I'll push myself, because if she can do it, I feel like I can do it too.
So Sandy Basra, if you're listening, this lady is absolutely like, you're her role model.
She's honestly such an inspiring person.
And if there's somebody famous, like if you had to listen to a podcast, who would you listen to?
Do you know what? I do listen to a lot of Stephen. Mm-hmm. He's incredible. And when I started listening to podcasts, even while I'm running, like I do listen to podcasts because that's the only time I actually listen. Otherwise I'll have it playing in the background. You don't actually pay attention to the words that they're saying. Stephen is a really good podcaster, and if you do watch him, you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, he's one of my favourite as well.
One day, manifesting him to be on the show for Vina.
Yeah. Oh my God, I think I'd like faint.
Oh my God, that'd be incredible.
Any tips from you, Aranpreet, for someone who wants to start a new business? I know you say about content creation, social media is really important. It's free. Is there anything else that you would give as a hot tip to someone to just get up and start?
Okay, so like a hot tip that I would definitely say is, I feel like a lot of people shy behind the camera and they don't want to show their face. You don't have to put your face on social media. I feel like one thing that people think is they need to be proactive and show their face, show their body, show their like physical appearance on social media. You can have a page on social media without showing anything. Like you can have AI does so much for you. Even your voice. If you're too shy about posting your voice, AI, CapCut will do these things for you. It's just about getting up and doing it. And no one will know who you are until you put yourself out there. So getting on social media is probably the biggest. You've seen dentists on social media now, you know, the singing dentists. And you're thinking, what is a dentist doing there? But look how much they've grown because they've put themselves out there. So I would say get up, show up, and show up for yourself if you're not going to, you know, show up for anyone else. So yeah.
Thank you. Any parting words?
Vina, when is my next appointment at the Pretty Perfect Clinic? Book me.
We will look that up for you. Thank you for coming there. So if you just look to that camera, tell everyone how to get hold of you.
Amazing. So my Instagram is Beauty with Aranpreet. My cake business is Luxe Cakes. And my photography studio is called Luxe Studio. So make sure you guys check them all out.
And that's Luxe?
Luxxe. I wanted to be a bit unique.
XXE. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Founder in the Chair. Please don't forget to like, follow, share and subscribe from wherever you are watching or listening. Thank you.